Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Treble Talks, episode 18. This week we're going to do a bit of a roundup on this series 2, before we move on to our spring break and then into series 3, where we've got some big things coming. There's a lot going on in the world at the minute, what with coronavirus and everything else that's currently going on.
Yeah, so we're going to talk today about our favourite moments from series 2.
Yeah, let's round it up. Let's do our favourite. So, should we kick off with you, our first, or our most favourite from this series?
I really liked it when we had Andre, bodybuilder, on. I thought he was very honest, and it was good to kind of see behind the curtain, so to speak, into what it's like being a professional in that field.
Yeah.
I think he was very informative, but at the same time very honest about his situation. So I thought, yeah, I took a lot from that. It was that was enjoyable. Yours?
I think my favourite episode this season was probably Ephraim, when we covered mental health of Ephraim from Strongmen. He was really good. It was a different take on fitness, if you like, but also I think it's very important. And his story is really touching and really real. It's definitely, if you haven't seen that episode, I'd definitely recommend watching it. He was definitely, it's quite hard hitting at times, especially his story, as well as the tips and tricks that he advises and things like that, and things that strongmen are doing as well. It's incredible what they're doing.
It's fantastic movement they've got with that. Yeah, so it was really cool to have him on. No, there's been some good, quite proud of what we've done, actually.
From the old Woke Street to here,
yeah,
it's come a long way.
Had some good, really good feedback on the "Are You Eating Enough" episode as well. I think a lot of messages around that, and some in-person comments as well, which is cool. So I think that was that's still quite a current issue, if you will.
I don't think people realise, do they, how much they should be eating?
No, and that's maybe something that's quite topical, that kind of came out around the right time, where, you know, we just want to add value with every episode, don't we, like we said before. And it was nice that we took that on board and maybe gave them some things to think about, steered them off in a different direction to what they were originally doing. That's what it's all about. The biggest
takeaway from that episode, it's got to have been, excuse the pun, but the biggest takeaway from that episode has probably got to have been how much people should be eating, in terms of, people often think they should be eating less than what they are.
Yeah. And
actually, if you're eating the right foods, you end up eating a lot more than you think you probably should be.
Yeah.
And again, another great episode. Like, if you're looking to find out how much you should be eating, then go back and listen or watch that episode. And
this is going to become a sales pitch.
Yeah, watch every episode. There we go, done. Right, round up, done. Let's move on to the next series.
Strategically got all 9. Like, I really liked that bit of that one. I
liked all of it, but I like all of the episodes that we've done so far, because every time, and the thing is, and if we strip it back, every time that we meet up to record an episode, we always say we want to provide value. Yeah. And actually, at the heart of what we're doing here, whether you love it or you hate it, we always turn up every week to just try and help just one person with something decent, like whether it's to make you laugh or whether or not it's to provide some sort of value. And that's what I love about what we're doing with Treble Talks.
And we always say, sometimes the ones where we didn't have much of a solid topic that we were definitely going to address at the start, turns out to be almost better, because we're not so kind of strict, rigid with the bullet points. Like, you've got to mention that, and you say that. It just kind of flows a bit more of a conversation, which, you know, whenever we talk off camera a lot, we end up going into a 5-minute rant, and we're like, we should be recording this.
How many times? We've done it so many times. For every time we said that'd be rich. Because it all started, didn't it, from just natural conversation with us, and that's key as well. I think it's good that we've kept that. There's a degree of planning there has to be with anything like this. Yeah. But the conversation, there's no script, it is free flow, and that's what I love about it, and that's what I think we need to keep forever, especially moving to Series 3.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think my favourite thing about doing it is that we can talk about topics that we're passionate about, and we can kind of get our views across, which is really quite therapeutic to do, and quite fulfilling at the same time. But yeah, it does add value. Hopefully it adds value to people that are listening, and maybe just gets people thinking a bit differently. The amount of times I've listened to things in the past, and maybe I can't remember anything else about it, but one little soundbite or something that overplays in my mind, and then I think back to that as a reference.
Yeah.
You know, and just if we can do that for a handful of people, that's brilliant.
I would love that. I'd love to just speak to someone and they're like, do you know what? There was this one time you said in Series 1, Episode 4, and it's just resonating with me. I just can't stop thinking about like I live by it now. Like I'd love that.
Yeah, definitely. I've listened to like 2.5 hour Joe Rogan podcasts before, and I could not recite any of it, but maybe like one sentence that like a guest has said or something like that, and then I think on that and I bounce back to that, and it's funny how like your brain, but then like it kind of resonates things, and if you go into that mode of thinking, and then you're like, then that comes up, and it kind of like just shapes a little bit of
and I know I can't. It's hard to explain. I know what you mean, because you then kind of take it into what you do as well, and you you impart it with other people. Then when you're giving them knowledge, you're like, oh, actually that works. And that's quite good. And it worked for me, so now I'm going to help these people and do that with them.
Yeah, it's funny actually, because one of my clients said to me the other week, they said, you know, you're not going to get angry, are you, if I do some of the stuff that you've taught me with my friend? And I was like,
why do you get angry?
Why would I? What? Like, I didn't understand what she meant at first. She was like, "Oh, just, you know, like, I just want sure." And I was like, "It's
as
not
if they're like stealing your concept,
like, as if
and taking it.
Which page of the sort of the Mac-Cal
the
Bible
Mac-Cal
that you're referring to? Like, that's kind of like copyright.
No, you
like
can't have that page. Sorry.
No, and I just said to her, look, you know, there's no new ideas in the world. It's all about kind of sharing and like paying it forward.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, yeah, and I was, like as if I was going to be sort of watching, sort of just tutting, thinking
there is a lack of that
exercise there that I learned back in 2014. And if more people know about that, I'm going to kick off.
How dare you do the deadlift?
Yeah.
How dare you show your friend the deadlift?
Yeah, it's not a good, like, I think it's never good to have like a scarcity mindset with that like there's plenty to go round for everyone, and all of a sudden the more you kind of share, almost, I think like the more you attract. If you go into sort of a narrow mode of like, well, I've got these secrets here and I'm charging for these secrets, so you know, if I don't want these to get in the wrong hands, because, you know, God forbid, everyone else is going to be lean. And when everyone gets lean, what does that mean for me? And like, that's just the wrong attitude.
This is something we massively agree on as well, that actually sharing content for free and giving people value is actually invaluable. Like, there's no pride. Like, it actually almost create a uniqueness and a niche for yourself, because actually people want to work with you because they then think, well, he's giving so much for free. When I pay for stuff, like, that's going to be gold, because he's giving everything else away for free that PTs are charging me for.
Yeah, and also I think from our point of view, it forces us to keep thinking on things as well. If you think that you've just got these 5 kind of bullet points, or this like one-stop shop strategy that you just only teach, and then, you know, that is your business model, then, you know, if you just like, they say that when you learn something, the best way to truly internalize it is to teach someone else straight away. Yeah. Because then it kind of, they learn, but then you relearn it, like, as you say it. And then if someone kind of like challenges you on it, for example, it forces you to think, oh, actually, I don't really know. Or then you learn it deeper.
You have to work through it.
Which is like, so, you know, that's the nature of like, you know, like reading books and things like that. You want to try and sell, you know, part with the bullet points and like the takeaways from so what are you most excited about for series 3? We haven't decided which one we're going to go.
Well, the big plans that are coming, the new design, the new branding that's coming, that's a massive thing. I'm really buzzing about that. And we've got some real good special guests coming on as well.
A few both in confirmed.
Do we name them now?
No, we'll keep it.
Hold those cards close to our chest. We're talking about giving things away for free, and then we're like, no, we'll keep those.
We can build some excitement as we lead up to the episodes when we've got the people, you know. Plus, The Rock might cancel. You know, it's in an army might. That's not at the 11th hour.
But can you imagine, right? So we're now 9 episodes into series 2.
Yeah.
9 episodes of series 1. So this is episode 18.
So it's been 9 episodes since the Christmas do then.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I remember that.
I'll have to double check, but yeah. So I think we've done 9 episodes of series 1 and 9 episodes of series 2. We'll have to check that, but
yeah.
I mean, ultimately we're 18 episodes in, and within that, we started obviously Woke Street, Basingstoke on a bench, recording on a phone,
with wind sort of blowing.
With wind, with everyone going
peer over the.
Yeah, it was really good, mate, but could barely bloody hear you. Like, great content from the bits I could hear, all about 4 minutes of it.
And here we are in Beverly Hills with a massive production setup. The team shuttle running back and forth down the camera. How times have changed.
But the Christmas party, just up until that point, that little pit stop there, the distance that we'd come, it is crazy, isn't it, already? And the support that we've got as well, which we're massively grateful for.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, buzzing about Series 3. What are you looking forward to for Series 3?
I'm excited to challenge ourselves to think about what other topics we can come up with that we want to discuss. I think we want to keep things quite current, and in the fitness industry, things ebb and flow and become relevant. We don't want to necessarily just talk about what's in the news. We could talk to death about coronavirus, for example, today.
I think people are sick of it though.
Yeah, well, there's, or we can, try and stay in touch with things that people are talking about. I like when we research the news articles and we look at what's
that was good. I talked about topics. That was good.
Because I think things that are in, not that we've necessarily got expert opinions by any means, but I think sometimes hearing different viewpoints, and sometimes when we don't necessarily agree,
conflict.
There's value in it.
It gets people thinking as well.
Things are very, very rarely black and white. If you look at things like diet, exercise programming, nutrition, it is very, very, very complicated subjects. So it's very rare that there is just there's your answer, away you go. It's and I like to sit in the grey area.
There's no one size fits all.
No, debate, but that's kind of how you learn, and how you sort of refine, take little bits out of it. Because one option is someone said to me the other day, I was so confused in all this diet stuff. That was it. I was, I think, a cheat meal up on my Instagram feed of lasagna.
There was not the ice cream as well.
No one knows about the ice cream.
Mate, it's bad when I'm sitting there thinking, which one? That counts.
Well, I've shared a couple of them in confidence, so I appreciate those not being revealed.
Oh, I don't think that was public on your story, bro.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought you were about the other one when I came in.
You were rating it for clients, apparently.
Well, on some hand it's like, well, he's giving a message about fat loss and he's talking about fundamentals and he's talking about things you've got to adhere to. And I catch him red-handed on a Saturday night celebrating a homemade lasagna with sticks of garlic bread. What? And it's easy to think of that as like, it's all just so confusing, then I'm going to Burger King. It's like, no, it's like, go deeper and understand it deeper. Think of it in layers. Like, are you taking care of this sort of stuff?
Yeah.
I always think about, model successful people. So if there's someone that is doing things that you want to do or looks like you want to, try and get into a feel of, not necessarily stealing their approach, but try and kind of, model. Success leaves clues. So think about what's, if there's someone in really good shape, I'm not saying this is me, but if there's someone in really good shape that you follow,
I think.
Someone in really good shape that you follow and they're having, what looks like quite a good time, and they're not just massively deprivation lunchbox mentality, fish and greens every day. Think about, they've probably got their exercise handled, they've probably got their movement handled, they've probably got their macros handled, they probably have got a good solid base. So deal with that yourself, and then when you get that right, you'll be able to have some fun on top. But don't just think, try not to just avoid the temptation to be like, just
1 week is good and then I can have a meal that's bad. I get it. Yeah. So we've got a month off now. Month off, no work. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brought spring break a little bit early this time, based on the fact that obviously what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
What are your plans for spring break? What's going on?
Well, if we can actually move around, I was supposed to be going on holiday in about 10 days' time.
Nice. Where are you going?
To Cape Verde.
Oh wow, lovely.
I don't know if that has been cancelled or
updates
not.
On that to come.
Updates on that to come from the holiday company. Hopefully, be a different climate out there. And potentially just eating pot noodles and.
It's mad. When I went shopping the other day, all of the pot noodles gone. What are people doing? Why's all the pot noodles gone? Where's all the nutrition?
I understand you want to have foods that kind of satisfy you and are quick wins, and pasta sauce is easy to do. But doesn't half show what people's default diet's when the fact that all the baked beans are going, all the pasta sauces are going, all the, the spaghetti's going. I went down the gluten-free aisle, it's pretty overflowing. There's gluten-free oatcakes falling off the shelves. They're stacked so far back, no one's buying them. All that kind of, had no problem getting a lot of the stuff that I wanted to get. So
toilet roll?
Yeah, I'll need to do a run later in this week. So I'll try and run a gauntlet somewhere.
Yeah. So apart from holiday then, and obviously dodging the aisles to get toilet roll, what else you got planned?
Got a really great batch of both in-person and online clients at the moment, so keeping up with them. Going to be looking to add value to the YouTube channel. Hopefully it won't be with too much of a focus on just home workouts, because we will still be able to get out and about, but I guess the jury's out on that at the moment. So massive kind of push for that. And and you? What are you? What's your next 4 weeks?
If we can keep going out and going to the gym, I might have to change gym because that's maybe closing for 2 months apparently, but we'll find out updates to come on that. But otherwise, again, it's just making sure that my members have got what they need. We're looking at some home workouts, contingency planning, just because everyone might not be able to go to the gym. And then other than that, I've just started, 2 weeks ago, I've started my weight loss again. So I'm not putting any weight on anymore. I'm now weight loss again.
Cut for the summer.
So now it's my drive to summer and it's aggressive as well. So I've just done, in the last 2 weeks, done 2 kilos. So it's coming down thick and fast. And
so it's the first day of spring today. So that will be, it's 20th of March.
I just think for me it's about the right time.
Yeah.
I think it's for me, and like you said about being in the grey area, it's not black and white and not one size fits all. But for me, knowing what I know and how quickly I can do things, I think now is probably about the right time to get where I want to be.
Yeah.
And be a happy, good weight looking how I want to look.
I guess we want to give a final message out, don't we? Especially with all the uncertainty around what's happening with quarantine and whatnot. We don't know yet, but you got to still try and prioritise your health and fitness more than anything. I really think you've got to be getting out.
Goes to show strong immune system, healthy, fit.
Yeah, and I think some gyms will close, which will be circumstantial, and they will be powerless to that based on what happens and where. But you've got to still keep your exercise protocol going. I know a lot of the online apps and home workout stuff is thriving at the moment, which means people are still addressing it. Someone told me this morning that the Peloton bikes are now on a 3-month waiting list.
Wow.
It was originally a couple of weeks. I think a lot of people are thinking of that so they've gone through the roof. So there's still desire out there to get fit and get healthy, maybe just not in the conventional gym-like manner. Like I said, we hope that is the case, but subject to what happens. But consider this a pep talk from us to keep it going.
So that's it. That's the roundup for Series 2. And it's kind of a bit emotional, really, to close the chapter on this. But we'll definitely be back, Series 3, probably another 9 episodes of absolute value and content.
Yeah.
So make sure that you follow Treadmill Talks on Instagram at treadmill_talks. You can follow me at JD Fitness Official.
And me at Matt Cowell PT.
And thank you so much for listening and watching this series of Treadmill Talks. It's been awesome. Thank you, brother. Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys.
Who needs to go to sleep?